And yeah, the fun of Instagram is that the algorithm is ever changing, and they will bring in new things and then promote those new things, or promote posts using those new things instead of what has worked for years before. So it's a fun game. It's a fun game. Hey everyone, it's Hannah, and it's time for a bit of a different video today. Some of you may remember that last year I brought out 4 videos in like a creative business mini series, and I've written things for a couple more videos, so I thought that I would do another one of them because it only seemed to make sense. I just kind of stopped doing them once we moved house and never started them up again. So today's video is going to be about social media and marketing, and then once I looked at my notes I realised they're all about Instagram. And also when I looked at these notes today for kind of the script that I've written for the video, Instagram's changed since I wrote this, but a lot of it is still relevant. But yeah. For those of you who don't know who I am a small business owner. I own the Corner of Craft. I make hand-beaded stitch markers, and I also dye yarn in colours inspired by Dungeons and Dragons. I've had my business for, well, it's going to be 8 years this year. That's mad. But I have a whole video about how I started my business, and I'll link the playlist down below for the mini-series that this video is going to be part of. I've done videos about the basics of setting up a business, 10 things I wish I'd known before I started my business, and also we spoke about money and finances, which is a topic that nobody likes to talk about, but one that I think is good to talk about because there's no shame in talking about money. So, social media is such a powerful marketing tool. We know it. Big businesses know it. I tell you what, if you go on Instagram right now and you scroll to the second image down, it's going to be an ad or a sponsored post. It's going to be. They're so close. They're all over your feed. And yeah, it's kind of frustrating. But big businesses know that social media is where we're at. Because when you're mindlessly scrolling and you're liking pictures and you see a post that's vaguely related to what you like but isn't necessarily someone you follow, you're more likely to go and buy the thing. I'm a sucker for Instagram ads. I will freely admit that. And I will be completely upfront and honest with you all. I don't think that I would have the business that I have without social media, YouTube and Instagram specifically. I have managed to grow both of these platforms, and through that have found some brilliant, fantastic customers. And yeah, I mean, I might still have the business, but I doubt I would be full-time with it. So yeah, social media is pretty pinnacle in my business life. Just to reiterate, I'm not an expert at these things. They're just a few things that I've picked up through the years of being on social media and on Instagram in general. And yeah, the fun of Instagram is that the algorithm is ever changing, and they will bring in new things and then promote those new things, or promote posts using those new things instead of what has worked for years before. So it's a fun game. It's a fun game. And while I am no expert, like I have said, there's just some ideas about content you can post and things that you can share that might go down well. So Instagram is a very visual app, so this is a really obvious point, but photography is so important. So important. I mentioned this in a previous video, but your customers only have a picture and description to go off before they decide to make their purchase. That's if they're shopping online with you. So you kind of want your pictures to portray your products as clearly and kind of prettily as possible. You're in competition with everyone else that they're following. Apparently, I've forgotten how to speak. Instagram is kind of like a catalogue or diary for your business. It gives people a snapshot as to what to expect if they want to shop with you, what they expect to see in their shop, and basically who you are. You don't want every single picture on your feed to look exactly the same. It's important to switch it up a bit, keep it exciting. I was going to say keep it spicy, and switch it up a bit and see what does well. People don't necessarily want a repetitive feed. So have a look at some of your favourite creators and make a decision, make some notes, why you follow them, what kind of content they post. And I'm not saying copy them, I'm saying take inspiration from their feed and interpret it in your own way, because I just think that, I just think that we can learn from each other, you know. Community, not competition. You'll hear me say this quite a lot. So posting product themed photos seems so obvious and so easy. People need to know what you're selling in order for them to buy it. They're not mind readers. But something that I'm actually not that great at and forget to add in posts all the time is where these products are available and when these products will be made available. It's such an obvious thing and I forget it every time. Yes. So try to add in your description either where there's a link to your website or when your shop update is or something like that, because inevitably someone will ask and it's easier just to have that information already there, so you don't have to answer 20 people the same question. Although that does have engagement to your post. Behind the scenes posts have always done it quite well for me. If you indulge, that's not the word I'm using, but it's the one I'm using, in a slightly unusual craft, people are going to want to see how it's done. For me, bead weaving is a slightly unusual craft. People don't really know how I make the things. So I try to do posts of what's on my beading mat at the minute, and yeah, I kind of style them out a little bit and make them look nice. But then, you know, you take a picture, post it, and people are like, oh, these are pretty and whatnot. Also, people are just incredibly nosy and like to see what people's day-to-day behind the scenes is like. I know that I do. I know that I like that. So you could make a video of you making the thing, dyeing the thing. The sun has gone behind a cloud, so thank you, sun. Yeah, you could do a video of you making the thing, dyeing the thing, sewing the thing, beading the thing, and upload that to Instagram and yeah, give people a bit of an insight into what your day-to-day is like. I know that some business owners like to focus on the products more than themselves when posting on Instagram, and that is completely fine. But I have found that people like to support businesses when they know a bit more about the person who's behind them. Does that make sense? To quote Leona of Indie Roller, I'll link to Indie Roller in the description box below. People not only buy what you do, but they buy why you do it. So share your business story, share why your business is so important to you and who you are. You don't have to share everything about your personal life. You can set those very clear boundaries in place. I have been on social media for all of my adult life now, which is mad. And yeah, I've definitely, now that I'm older, have a few more boundaries than when I was younger, but that's fine. We learn as we go. Boundaries are important, but at the same time, it's nice to open the door a tiny piece and let people into your world. The goal of Instagram is to have its users stay on the platform for as long as possible. That is the same way with a lot of websites and social media platforms that have ads on them, because the longer you're on the platform, the more ads that you see. Before, when Instagram was chronological, you used to find videos and blog posts breaking down the best time of day to post and things like that, but things are a little different now. You don't necessarily have to find the best time of day to post, but it does help. And I don't know if any of these algorithmy things are correct. They're just things that I've picked up. So you want engagement on your post. Saves are the most important, apparently. That's the little flag at the bottom. You want people to save your posts. I am at a disadvantage to this because I feel like the things that I post aren't very save worthy unless people like my stitch markers or yarn and then save it to then come back to it at another point. But for example, some people put like recipes under there or write something really interesting that, you know, basically you're trying to add value, and that's what Instagram likes. So not only are likes important, saves are the most important, sharing is also important, but comments are, I mean, you know, they're needed. Try to add a question at the bottom of your Instagram post. That way people respond to the question that you're asking, and then you can respond to that, and you can have a conversation happening below the post. One, it adds the social aspect and the community aspect back into social media, which I love, because working for yourself by yourself can be incredibly lonely. So I love the social interaction. But also it helps to show Instagram that, hey, this post over here, yeah, push it out to more people because it might actually be interesting to someone. Apparently comments need to ideally be 4 words or more, and that doesn't include emojis. And you don't want to write the same thing over and over again, otherwise Instagram is going to think that that is spam, and we don't want that, because then you might have your account blocked, which is really annoying. I have also seen that the first hour after you post is the most important for engagement, so don't just post and ghost. I hate that I just said that. Post your video and then try to comment back and interact once people are interacting under it. I don't know how true that is, but I read it somewhere once. If you have a business or a creator account, I actually switched my Instagram from a business account to a creator account, because you can still have shopping links, link your products for Instagram shopping. You can still see insights, which is what I'm about to be talking about, but you can also use copyrighted music, which you can't do for a business apparently. So yeah, if you've lost the ability to use copyrighted music, it might be worth looking at a creator account and seeing if it works for you, just as a pro tip, because I found it very helpful. But with both a business and creator account, you can see insights. It shows you which posts have performed well. It shows you what kinds of posts get shared out the most. You can see how many comments, how many people have seen it, how many followers you've gained in the last however long, and it's just very useful in order to see what posts do well and show you what maybe you need to share more of. There was a time when videos tended to do better than photos do. I think it's got something to do with staying on the platform for longer, because the longer you sit and watch a video, the longer you're on the app. But now things have changed slightly and Reels reign supreme. So the new thing is that Instagram seems to be pushing Reels. For those that don't know, Reels are those short videos, which I believe now can go up to a minute, but used to only be 30 seconds, in which people either share a little behind the scenes or a little funny thing or whatever you want, basically. And Instagram are pushing them. They come up on the explore page more. And once you get stuck into a cycle of watching Reels, you can just keep scrolling and your video might pop up. One way to try to get your video be seen more, or your reel seen more, is by using popular music or sounds that are trending at the time. Try to check out what things are trending and see if you can use that sound or music to apply to your business model, or just business in general. And yeah, I'm no expert on Reels. I've only done a few of them. I just feel like I'm not funny enough, but I do need to start doing them more. You get the tripod out. So try to mix up what you post, having a combination of photos, even photos on a carousel, which is when you're scrolling along, videos, reels, mixing up, you know, a bit of personal life, a bit of behind the scenes, a few product photos, things like that. Mixing up what you see so people don't get bored of your feed. And yeah, not every post has to be beautifully styled. I know that some people's Instagram thrives off being beautifully styled, but if that's your aesthetic, go for it. If you enjoy doing that, go for it. But as someone who does not enjoy that, I do not do that. So yeah, a lot of my photos are on the fly, and some of my best photos are just terrible lighting, a picture of what I'm knitting. I need to, you know, to start doing on-the-cuff Instagram posts more often, because I've been slacking lately. I get too drawn into the aesthetics of it all, and aesthetics is not really my forte. So hashtags. Some people say use less, some people say use more. My theory on hashtags is Instagram allows you to use 30 hashtags. So why not use all 30 hashtags? Why would Instagram allow you to add hashtags and then punish you for using all the hashtags? That makes no sense to me. I mean, this could just be my, you know, feeble brain not understanding that. But yeah, that's just my theory. Experiment around, but that's just what I think. Sometimes posts that have no hashtags on at all do way better than posts that I've done put hashtags on, but I think it's got a little bit to do with what I'm posting. It's important to try and switch up the hashtags that you're using. You don't want Instagram to think that you are a bot of any form, just using the same hashtags over and over again. And also you want to try to avoid using generic hashtags like hashtag love, hashtag blessed. I don't think anyone actually uses hashtag blessed, but it's pretty funny. because you're just going to get buried underneath the mountain of posts that also use that hashtag. Have a look in your sphere, your business sphere, and see what hashtags are popular that people use. And yeah, try and use them. Engaging with other people's posts also really helps. Not only does it boost your visibility to these other businesses and also people commenting underneath who might think, oh, who is that person? Click. But it also helps to, there's a bit of fluff, it helps to promote other people's businesses and boost their posts as well. Like I said before, community over competition. So yeah, try and get your name out there a bit more. I'm really bad at this, but at the time of writing this, I used to go and like people's posts and comment on people's posts and was very active. But I've been slacking since I wrote this because we're over a year into a pandemonium, and yeah, the brain doesn't really want to be sat on Instagram for hours, even though I am most of the time. Instagram stories are so fun. I use them way more than I post, just rego posts. Try not to think too much about what you're posting there is my humble advice. It's just really a place for you to show your day-to-day behind the scenes, share customer photos. I also, when I post a new picture, share it on Instagram stories, because Instagram stories tend to get more visibility, which is great and also really annoying. But I tend to share my post on Instagram stories and then like cover it up with a GIF or something so people want to click through and see it and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, Instagram stories, you can post up to 100 stories a day, which is, you know, a little excessive, but you can do that. That is a thing you can do. If you want to do that, you can do that. And you can just post literally whatever you want. Instagram is great now because before I used to, when I did a talkie story, a story in which I do the talkie, I used to type up subtitles and it used to take ages, but I really wanted to do it and I used to get sick of hearing my own voice because I wanted my stories to be fully accessible to everyone. And I find that I skip stories if they don't have text in them. I need to just like put pause on that habit, because now Instagram have allowed people to add captions, which is super cool, and it auto generates, and I believe you can go in and like tweak it, but I've not done many talkie stories since this has come out, so I haven't played around with it too much. But if you haven't had the ability to, if you don't have that ability yet, it might be coming out soon to you, so just keep an eye on it, but it's super useful. It's underneath the same bit where you can add GIFs and such. GIFs. I've done a lot of talking this morning. But you can literally post whatever you want on Instagram stories. You can share behind the scenes. You can do just a little chat about what you're up to in the day. You can share what you had for lunch if that's your jam. You can do you decorating a cake if you have a cake decorating business. You could do this is what I'm watching on TV while I'm bead weaving, which is what I tend to do. I fell over and look, I hurt myself. That was me last week. Things like that. It adds a bit of personality back into your business, which I think is really important. But once again, only share what you're comfortable with, set those boundaries in place, and yeah, don't go outside of them if that's not what you want to do. So yes, that is everything that I have today to talk to you about Instagram. Who knew that I could talk about Instagram for so long? Me, apparently. I mean, I wrote this script and then went completely off track. I really hope that you liked this slightly different video and that some of you found it helpful. I know that a lot of people were enjoying the small business series, and then I moved house and never really started it back up again. So yeah, we'll see if I do more. I've got another one prepped. And then I've got marketing, a product launch. I've got how to stay motivated. And then I actually think that's all I have, like notes taken down. But if there's anything else that you would like to see from this series, I guess I could reinvigorate it. And if you have any more tips about Instagram, please let me know. The lovely Angie of Gamer Crafting did a great video called Deep Dive, How Algorithms Are Ruining Small Craft Businesses. I will be sure to link that in the description box below. It's a really interesting video, and yeah, watch it if that's something that you think you'd be interested in. So thank you so much for watching and spending some time with me. I hope that you enjoyed the video and I hope that you found it somewhat useful. If you'd like to follow me on social media, links can all be found in the description box below, along with any other information that I think you might need. And yeah, feel free to subscribe. I'm currently trying to upload 3 times a week. A lot of studio vlogs happening with a fortnightly knitting and crochet podcast. So if that sounds like something that you are into and interested in, please feel free to subscribe. I would love it if you were to join the party that is the Corner of Craft. We'd love to have you here. Leave a comment down below. Let me know basically any tips that you have to help with social media, anything that you want to see in future videos, any questions that you have, I can try to answer them, and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, feel free to give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Give it a thumbs down if you thought it was the worst thing you've ever seen. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you very soon in my next video. Bye!